to a nice, peaceful, positive Tuesday in the Third Kingdom, your island, your Madagascar, your Antarctica awaits. All right, so I really think that I've been doing this entire thing completely wrong. Just throwing that out there. Very many different strategies. It feels like building all of a single structure and then tearing it down just absolutely is not the play. I'm not gonna lie, it ain't the play. So we're gonna try a couple of other different methods. Heard ones about just building up structures nonstop. I was building out capacity thinking, well, overnight, it's fine, it'll accrue more. But nope, if you're always active, why am I doing that? The first thing I thought about was doing the production rate upgrade. But anyway, enough about TTK. Hope you guys are enjoying your gameplay. The game seems like it's actually running, which is phenomenal. No webcam today. A little bit of a surprise, but still a ton of headlines to go over with you. Thank you for joining on in Neo Tokyo, one of the biggest communities within Web3. We've continually asked the question of, all right, what is Neo Tokyo coming out with? It's got some massive YouTubers that are behind it. You would think, okay, that is going to reach some massive upper echelons, and it has in the background, but the Readyverse announcement the other day, us highlighting yesterday, where we noticed the Neo Tokyo account is now highlighting a Neo Tokyo Plays account, and they're specifically saying now early access tournaments and more, will you reap the rewards? So gaming, everything just has to do with earning prizes of some sort. And instead of ranks, maybe it's actual crypto. Yeah, I guess that's good. Kind of weird to think about, but neat nonetheless. Yo, Rax, this guy is crazy. Listen, he's out there selling goods at a festival and highlighting the wonders of Web3 with banners showcasing Dookie Dash Unclogged, getting people to try it out. I think this is just hilarious, and we're definitely going to see more of it over time because there's a lot of people that are doing a lot of cool stuff within the space, if you haven't heard. Now, when we talk about IP, this is just something that came across my timeline. I don't really know what it is. It's saying that it's Bandai's newest trading card game. I don't know if that's reference to Bandai Namco, the company, if this is reference to whatever this IP is, if that's regarding Bandai. But we have the Pudgy Penguin card game. We have several card games with it in the space. We know there's going to be a whole lot more. And all of the traditional companies are also trying to build games, trading cards of some sort. If only there was a way within Web3 to make it easy. And this whole digital economy we have, well, it's looking nice. Many brokerage accounts in China are now offering 24/7 services to meet the demand as new individual investors rush to open trading accounts after the Chinese stock market rallied 16% last week per Bloomberg. So a lot of questions around the globe. Obviously, there's a little bit of a stimulus over in China. Does that help happen elsewhere? And if it does, what are the sort of ramifications for that? Now, with that being said, if you guys haven't seen the crypto charts of today, we are down rather significantly. So there's that. Yo, G, honey, good morning, afternoon, evening. That's the crazy part with this. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is at completely different times in the world. Some are at nighttime, some are in the morning. Where are you from? Wait, where are you from? You know what I mean? Actually, don't answer that. That sounds like a creepy thing to ask. Okay, new FTT, the token from bankrupt crypto exchange FTX, oddly jumped over 80% in the last 24 hours. Now, this was the other day on the 29th, but I still wanted to go back and reference this just to see, okay, why in the halibut is FTT suddenly rocketing? If we go to the 7 days, it's up 50%. Single day, it's only up 15. Again, rocketed the other day, but over on the month, it's up 62%. You live 2 blocks down from you. Hell yeah, and the metaverse are actually, because holy smokes, why didn't you tell me sooner, to be honest? But FTX, when stimulus? Ready Player 2, the account that I kind of think that Ernest actually runs. And if you look, you might say, okay, you might be right with that, Schiller. Classic snap of 2 of our favorite creators, Ernie Klein and George R.R. Martin in Ernie's DeLorean. A lot of questions around Futureverse, the massive IP. It seems like it's been hinted at before. The Game of Thrones is involved. And then this takes it to a further point. It's not just the Warner Brothers connection. Imagine, the freaking offer of the entire thing. That's hilarious and insane. Subshell G, the clue for Readyverse is a periodic table, a little bit of Breaking Bad in the metaverse. Hey, Obsidian. Each is an element. Okay, well, that's good to know. Crypto Eddie, 50% of Ripple digital asset payment flows go through Singapore, the hub of the network for global operations. US flows, in quotes, not worth mentioning. So this is a pretty crazy clip. It's about 2 minutes, but it's absolutely worth hearing. And it also has this kind of vibe of, I don't know, dissing on the US, but also making you feel incredibly optimistic.
I'm Fiona Murray, Managing Director for Asia Pacific at Ripple. So we're headquartered in San Francisco, and we run a global business, working with some of the world's largest banks when they're self-custodying, working with some of the new entrants to the space who are tokenizing on the XRP ledger. And what we have seen in the US is that the regulator there, through a lack of clarity, has completely stifled innovation. So in the case of Ripple, we run a global payments network, and what we do that's different in that network is we enable the use of digital assets for real-time settlement across border. And we use Singapore as a hub in that network. So in Singapore, we're licensed with a DPT license, a digital payment token license, that enables us to sell digital tokens and process all the operations as a hub here for many of our global operations. And that is the framework that has allowed us and other organizations that are like-minded to come to set up and to establish Singapore as a hub. More than 50% of Ripple's global payment flows through the digital asset goes through Singapore. So you can, not the US. In fact, it's not worth mentioning the comparison. So it really does make a very big difference where you have that forward-thinking regulator, and we see much more growth and some of the really big players moving into this space in Asia Pacific as well because of that clarity here in Singapore.
Very, very interesting. Makes you feel very optimistic. You know what I'm saying? And if I say very one more time throughout this, listen, I owe you coffee. True. Vo walked into a Bape store in Tokyo. Immediately I see the BAYC X Bab collab, collab drop. Love or hate Bored Ape. They're doing some really cool stuff. True. Odd from our point of view, because I didn't know what the hell Bape was until BAYC collabed with them. But it's a massive store, and they're out there flaunting the brand. Not bad, not bad. Have you guys seen the Shohei Ohtani baseball? So, I guess, generally in baseball, if there's a ball that's worth having, whether it be the Hall of Fame, the player, they go out there and say, hey, we'll give you like a signed jersey, meet the player, whatever. And this person said, nah, I'm going to keep it and try to sell it. $1.2 million. Sheesh. Absolutely insane. Shipping, and listen, you got to remember though, shipping is $19. So if you bid $1.2 million, you're going to have to pay at least an extra $19 in shipping. Make sure you got enough in the account. Crazy. Real world assets. Unbelievable. A V1 zombie CryptoPunk with 3D glasses. We played the clip a few days ago, if you've been watching all the different streams, about the narratives between V1 versus V2. One of them just sold for 43 ETH. What if V1 makes a comeback? Can they get that narrative? Or is V2 just cemented in history? Stay tuned to the world of blockchain space to find out more. All right, 40 ETH, $104,000 for this suit. Apparently, this was a part of a 3-ape package that previously sold for, I think, 400 ETH, somebody said. So if somebody took 40 ETH for this one, well, then how much are you working with that 400? Just over 300 ETH left? Jeez. So I don't know if that was a tax loss or exactly what, but kind of crazy to think about. So we did highlight the Swamp Gaming the other day. Sway, who was playing the Dookie Dash on Claw game before, part of FaZe. I don't know if he's a part of it anymore because it doesn't say FaZe. Obviously, there was that huge rebrand. A lot of people got cut from that, but does have a lot of followers. Checked him out on Twitch before because I saw, wow, there was a lot of people. But we talk about influencers almost in a negative way for the most part because most are involved in meme coins or intended on doing something, and it was kind of, it didn't really go Didn't really go anywhere for a lot of them. But at the same time, you're like, okay, well, we need people that tell others about what's going on. And we have the resurgence of influencers people like. I think so. Tyler D, so stoked to share the news. Lucky Trader has now been acquired by Rug Radio and is joining the Daston family. So Rug Radio picking up a news site that does a lot of different stories. Very awesome to see. I think they've gone through some rebrands because it wasn't called Lucky Trader before. But as we did highlight the other day, the Other Space FM, the X Space, got acquired by Other Page, who's a bigger company trying to create a product, needing a marketing source. A lot of opportunities. There's a reason everybody talks about it all the time. Now, speaking of Other Page, they highlighted this from Michael K., who was a part of the, I'm forgetting what the heck this thing is called. I'm trying to hover on the top right. Wallet Guard. He got acquired as a company. Wallet Guard did, and now he's working at Consensus, which is also the creators of MetaMask. And what they have within the MetaMask portfolio, if you download it, is all of the different apps that they support and also highlight, like Revoke.cash, which is an awesome one. Boring SEC DAO. They do a ton of different collaborations for security. If you are wanting to learn more about the space, it's like free classes. And I think they give you like POAPs or other pieces, and you might even earn ape from it. It's really, really cool, and just other resources, and that's cool that MetaMask has that implemented. Setting up phone 4 misses. Each is structured like the element period 10 dashes. Number value all seem to be mushroom variations as well. So does that mean Shroomland holders are going to do great, Obsidian? That's what we want to hear. Whale.mocha Q4 starts today, and this quarter will once again offer numerous opportunities. Here are 4 metas I'm keeping an eye on in Q4. And this first one, well, you might be familiar with it because they just keep popping up. Chains. Q4 could see the launch of Abstract Mainnet. In addition to more ETH-L2s, other chains such as Monad are also set to launch this year. And does that come with stimulus? I guess that's the question. You know what I'm saying? We have all these new chains. What's happened previously? They get users. Do we have anyone that kind of gets the impact that Blur does? That was a huge stimulus at the time. X2Y2 also amongst that, if you're familiar. This will create entirely new ecosystems and communities with a multitude of new meme coins, NFTs, SocialFi, and other dApps built on top of them. Similar to the early days of Blast, all of this should attract a lot of attention and huge opportunities for those who are early adopters and involved as platforms, creators, or traders. So you might be familiar with Jen, who is one of the content creators that really kind of grew significantly with the attention that was around Blast. And this graphic's kind of an indication of, okay, Abstract comes out, who else does it? And you can go to different gaming creators on Ronin or whatever chain you want, including Ape Chain. A lot of people are very vocal about that. And even back in NBA Top Shot days, there was a lot of people, myself included, that started doing content and found a small audience that ended up growing more as the product or platform grew as well. Because remember, these are all brand new. It's not like you're covering sports and thinking, hey, I'm going to have to cover a team. Well, if I want to do any kind of major city or just talk about NBA in general, like I'm going to have a niche, right? Or can I just do sports broadly? Or what if I don't know enough about all these teams and know the ins and outs, and holy smokes, hold on, I'm going to have all of that. I'm going to have to find attention. I'm going to have to hit the algorithm. I'm going to have to grind a whole bunch because there's so many people that already have massive audiences that it's really hard to crack. That just doesn't exist in this blockchain space because all this is completely brand new. You'll have a whole, like as Whale said, you're going to have a whole new subset of communities, a whole new subset of people that are attracted to various things within it, that are open-minded as well. I keep using the reference of, if you're an ETH Max, you usually stay on that. Or if you're into Solana, you usually stay on that. Okay, sure. Here and there, we go and expand elsewhere, but anytime something new comes along, you'll have people that are taken, and we talk about how the space is saturated a lot. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Well, we're expecting the entire world to come on chain. So yeah. Now, on that topic, we had a space earlier today. If you guys are wanting to check that out, I did retweet this morning on the X account at Schillerverse for that. The RWA World and segment, RWA Collectibles Spotlight. We had Tradable on today. Phenomenal conversation. And there was a line that Ahmed said in it. And he was like, well, we're not like building on the internet. We can't just like say that. And it was a reference to something else. And it's eluding me right now, but I want to listen back to it. But it was hilarious because when you say, oh, we're building on the blockchain, yeah, it's kind of cringe. You know what I mean? But saying we're building on the internet. People love the internet. It's phenomenal. If we can rebrand to just saying we're building on the internet, I'm down for it, to be honest. Credible highlighting a kind of a funny tweet and a lot of talk about October, right? And so CoinGecko put out this poll on X that was October is going to be a month of bullishness, bearishness, or view results. 73.8% said bullish. Okay, so we might be overall pretty positive about things and excited, but is it a problem that everybody is in exactly the same consensus? I have no idea. Luke Nets with also a great point. It's gotten to the point where I don't even recognize usernames or names, but rather I'm subconsciously default identifying people by their PFPs. True. Whenever you change your profile, a lot of people are judging you, myself included, because I know you from whatever yours is currently. But then, listen, if you really want to change it, we'll learn to accept it. We will. But you don't understand the implications of changing your PFP. And I also think sometimes it's like a good vibe, right? I've seen some people change it and it's like, it's not as positive, or they change it and it feels like a good change. But it's something that people think about. Do I have my actual face? Do I have a community that I'm involved with? It's a big question. And this is just an old Xbox. You remember the old nostalgia vibe? Plugging in the Xbox, playing a couple games. Not too shabby. So how do things become mainstream conversations? Have you had any talks about processed foods? Do you care about that aspect whatsoever? What about health in general? People saying, oh, get sunlight, go for walks. Do you care about that? Or say, all right, chill, shut up. Let's go back to NFTs. But it's weird because Logan Paul obviously launched these lunchy, like lunchable variant foods for people. And now it's suddenly all the talk of people saying, well, they got to use their influence for ethical means, highlighting good, positive nutrition, whatever that may be. But it's interesting because we talked about the influencers earlier and gets people talking about things. Sure, he's selling a product, but also the food discussion has gotten wildly bigger. Also weird that guy keeps showing up everywhere. First it was crypto, and it was over in WWE, and now he's talking about food. What the hell happened to those drinks? Weird being able to stay in the spotlight that much. Also some weird things. Guys, why are sports fans the way that they are? So there was two teams last night that qualified that happened to be playing each other. The Braves and the Mets for the MLB playoffs. And people were just like, these guys are stupid. They're horrible. This is an awful look. You guys should hate each other. Bruh. Nobody cares. Listen, if I say like I'm a fan of some random League of Legends esports team and something else, you're probably going to be like, I actually don't care. But if I was to say that I'm a fan of one of your major sports team's rivals or something, you'd probably be like, chill, here's my fist, here's your face, boom. And it's wild that people have such like a violent reaction in the sporting world when it's just like, hey, everybody's going for work. There's a reason that people say, well, you get paid to play sports. It's supposed to be fun. And so Santo commenting on this with everybody being super pissed off about it, you realize the fans have hatred toward each other, not the players. Some of these guys grew through the minors with each other. Let them celebrate. I agree. Let them celebrate. Well, absolutely nobody in crypto is celebrating. Holy smokes. Nearly 250 million has been liquidated from the crypto market in the last 4 hours. This coming out at 1 o'clock. Yeah. Big, not positive day within the markets of crypto. And just throwing it out there, listen, Toronto Raptors, I got a purple jersey. It's NBA Top Shot's birthday, if you didn't know. But if you haven't seen those, thought I'd share it right quick. And as highlighted a little bit earlier, G Honey and Mr. Obsidian Root talking about the periodic table. What do you guys think? We have an M, O, and a P. What is this supposed to mean? If you ever watched Fringe back in the day, every time an episode was on a commercial break right before it went to commercial break, it like flashed a certain, it's not like a hieroglyph. I don't even know what the term is. But it was like a symbol of something, like a frog outline, and it wasn't known. But then behind the scenes, all these people that were, I guess, code breakers are saying, oh, this is this word, this turns into this. And I was just like, I'm never going to get that. And I'm never going to get this until it's fully spelled out or somebody else gets it. So we'll find out. But that's going to be it for this edition of XFeed. Thank you so much for coming on through. I hope you have a phenomenal rest of your Tuesday.